Hey Spuds, how's it going? Welcome back to another video with the wonderful, the amazing, the gorgeous, better half of me.
Oh, Sharba. You're so sweet. No, I was just thinking, you always make it sound like I'm a magician's assistant.
No, you're
like
the magician. You're not an assistant.
Aww. Nah, together we're magic. Could you put like a little ching sound when I did that?
Maybe.
Thank you.
If I can be bothered. A while ago, Sharba made a video on this channel about what it's like to date a trans guy. Me being the trans guy, Sharba is a cisgender woman.
I swear you just said trans gay.
Trans gay.
You said me being the trans gay.
Oh, me being the trans guy, and Sharba is a cisgender woman. Nothing wrong with being a trans gay. So Sharba talked about like what it's like dating me, being a cis woman dating a trans guy.
Jamie had some questions.
That video seemed to be very useful for a lot of people. So we decided to come back together for a part 2.
Round 2.
And answer your questions specifically on the topic of intimacy. As a couple who share stuff online, we have our boundaries with each other. So this video is not going to go into like in-depth detail about how we have sex and that kind of thing.
It's not rocket science, guys.
But what we are going to talk about is approaching intimacy from both sides of the relationship, how we dealt with my dysphoria, and how things have maybe changed over the years in how we both feel in certain situations.
And we're doing that by answering viewers' questions, right? Because you asked for ones around that topic.
Your shoulder just cracked.
Did it?
Yeah.
But before we deep dive before we deep dive
into the topic of this video.
Sign of a smart person, yo. We have a little thank you, and that is to Let's Get Checked. You're going to put the words there, yeah?
Well, you better hope so.
Thank you kindly, Let's Get Checked, for sponsoring this video.
Now, intimacy and sex and sexual health and stuff like that, it can be quite a tricky thing to navigate for
anyone.
Anyone, really, but it can be especially difficult for trans people. I know it's something that's terrified me over the years, and I've heard from a lot of people it's terrified them. Trans or not, but especially trans people in a lot of situations might feel too scared to go to health professionals in worry of facing transphobia or not being treated correctly or just being uncomfortable with the prospect of getting sexual health checkups.
Yeah.
And that's where Let's Get Checked comes in. That was beautiful. Like,
welcome.
Angelic. Basically, Let's Get Checked will send accredited tests, health checkups, straight to your door in discreet packaging for you to complete at home and send back to them to get the results online with no need to see a medical professional or leave your house. And he said leave your health.
No, you do need to leave your house. You need to leave your house to put it in the free post thingy to post it back. We've used the service, which is why we're so excited to be able to share it to you guys. Whoa! Crack.
I heard that.
Because it worked very well. And
this is me taking a sexual health test, which is very fitting for this video. Ta-da! Mine is not as pretty as yours.
Time to do the Let's Get Checked test. I need a urine sample and a blood sample. You get the little postage back bag, instructions, tubes to collect your samples, and all of this. This is for getting the blood. I'm gonna go pee.
What is it?
It's a little needle. Do that. Beep. And you squeeze it into the tube. Do I just press it?
How's that?
Not bad at all. I did it. Both samples in here. I just need to pop it back in here and ship it off in the prepaid envelope and then get my results.
How long do we wait?
2 to 5 days.
Let's go.
So, my results are in from Let's Get Checked. We can check.
Okay, you go on the dashboard. It's got my recent lab result right there. Click on it. And everything is normal. Yay!
How good was the process? Was it easy?
It was very good. They let me know every stage when it was received, when it was being processed, and when my results were in.
So there you go. That was Jamie's experience.
Yes.
And the exciting thing is they do way more than just sexual health tests as well. I'm really excited because they also do HPV tests, which means that I can do that at home. They also do things like hormone testing,
like
fertility testing.
Yeah.
Go take a
so
look.
Whatever you might need, go check it out.
But wait, there's more.
If you are interested in their services, you can get 20% off any of their kits from your first order using the code...
What is it?
Jammidodger. Just had to check. It's also down below in the description box if you need it there.
Please be sure to stay healthy and check yourself, whether that's in a GP or using
one of these kits.
But
they just offer a service if you find certain things difficult to access or certain things difficult to go to because of whatever about your identity. Yeah. And you just feel a bit nervous about going to a doctor. So back to the video.
Yes.
And related to sexual health, as we said, we're going to be talking about intimacy and dating a trans person and dating as a trans person.
I'm not a trans person.
Yeah.
You're like dating a trans person, which makes sense for me to do to you, but not you to do to me.
Dating a cis person when you are trans, and dating a trans person
when you are cis.
Where's my hug?
Oh.
We asked you guys to send in some questions on Instagram related to intimacy in our relationship.
Jammidodger.
You're plugging my Instagram?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Jammidodger. Shameless plug.
You're a supportive queen. And we're going to jump straight in and just answer them, and hopefully they'll be useful. First question. Do you get called a gay couple?
Yeah,
we do.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, by certain people who are like, huh, you're lesbians.
There's nothing wrong with gay couples, we are just not one.
Not.
Was there anything that are off limits when being intimate when you were pre-op?
Ooh.
So just to explain, Jamie has had 3 operations
Top surgery.
and then 2 stages of bottom
lower
surgery.
surgery.
Let's go pre-op as in before everything.
Before everything.
Baby origin trans Jamie.
Oh, my origin story.
A little tadpole.
I did have strict kind of boundaries on what I was comfortable with before
Yeah.
I had particularly top surgery. Lower surgery, less so. But top surgery, I was very much like,
We also took things really, really slow for both of us. I
Yeah.
don't think it affected things as much, but there were definite boundaries.
yeah,
They weren't consistent boundaries. It mostly depended
on how I was feeling.
Yeah. The key is communication.
Yeah.
Always speak, even if you think you've had that discussion before. There is no harm in asking again, you know?
Yeah, because dysphoria is not like static. It can just go up and down. Okay, how does it differ to dating a cis guy? Well, this is definitely one for you.
See, this is difficult to try and generalise because, well, I mean, we know, but you guys may not know that being trans and the body of a trans person differs because every trans person's journey is different and there are so many different combinations of things like surgery that you can have. I guess, like, the obvious one is there is no cis dick, right? I'm sorry, just to be really blunt with it.
The cis
Because
dick.
that's what you're all wanting, really. That's why you clicked on this thumbnail.
And the sperm.
So I guess that's the big difference. But it doesn't make as much of a difference as you think it would, if that makes sense. In the sense that if someone's had phalloplasty, there's really no difference except for a bit of time if someone needs to
Pump it up.
Yeah, prepare, pump things up. If someone hasn't had phalloplasty and they've got metoidioplasty, there's still a chance of penetrative sex. It depends on the person's
Growth.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so different.
And experimenting.
And of course there are toys. Everybody loves a good toy.
I also think it matters more to different people. So
Yeah.
some people it will be a big deal and other people it really won't matter that much.
No, but seriously though, it really is just in the realm of penetrative sex that is different. And I think for those of you who are sexually active, you'll know that there is so much more to sex than just that. I just feel like people assume that it's like this whole alien world. Like, it's really not.
Yeah.
I don't understand the big ooh.
I knew you were gonna do that.
How do you deal with dysphoria coming up unexpectedly? You mean like you're like wow, 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 like
And then
in it, and then like
Bam.
boom.
Dysphoria. Gender dysphoria coming up unexpectedly is a bummer. And it happens, and it can happen at various different stages for various different things. The way we've dealt with it is just, I've known that Shaba is not going to be upset with me, not going to be mad with me. If at whatever point we're in, I'm just like, oh, no, sorry, like, it's just here. I can't deal with
Lights
this right
on
now.
movie.
Yeah. Shaba's just like, okay, cool, well, let's stop, we'll watch a movie, what do you want to do, you want to cuddle, you want some time, and I think it's about both people in the relationship understanding that it can happen and understanding that you just need to communicate and be respectful of each other's feelings
That's
in that
it,
situation.
it's communication. And again, like, it seems like a common sense rule. There are tons of other scenarios too. Consent is required at every stage, and consent can be withdrawn at any stage. And often is. If you're like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it. Can we watch some Shrek?
Shrek? Shrek? Wow, you went from sex to Shrek. Okay.
I don't know where that came from.
That's a glimpse into the mind of
A
Shaba.
Freudian, whatever. There you go.
And I think really important is respect in that situation. You should never be made to feel guilty or disrespected for that happening because you can't control it.
I'm really glad we're doing this at the same time though, because I was going to say the opposite. Whilst I think it is really important for you as, you know, the cis person who's having hanky-panky time with a trans person to be respectful, it's also really important, which I think you were very good at being mindful to not create a horrible environment. Does that make sense? Like, to just be like, oh, get off me, stop. No, we're not doing this now. Like, that would make me feel so uncomfortable. But to be like, you know, like, just to do it gently.
Like, sometimes it can be hard to control that gut reaction if dysphoria hits, but just
To speak nicely is what I'm saying. You know?
Or even if it's like we need to stop. Like, it can be like semi-urgent, but never take it out
but
on your
not
partner.
horrible. Yeah. Just remember that your partner's not doing anything bad. I mean, I hope they're not. If they are, clearly call them out on it.
Yeah.
But dysphoria is not anyone else's fault. It's not your fault either. It's just a sucky thing.
You can be upset, you can be mad. Hopefully your partner is there to support you. How do you go about asking what you would call a trans man's body parts? You know, down there. I think I just told you what I wanted.
You know, it wasn't actually a question that came to my mind because I'm not clued up, or well, at least at the time I wasn't clued up about trans things. I wouldn't have known that calling things different things would have made you uncomfortable, but it's something that you foresaw and was like, hey, just before we get into this.
You can't assume that your partner is aware of everything and what you're feeling.
And that's okay, like, you're not stupid for not knowing. Or there are other ways to do it as well that aren't just schooling. But to be like, you know, like... Why am I so awkward? You know, like...
What, sit down and talk about why you're so awkward?
No! I'm not saying have a meeting beforehand. Don't be like, so...
I think a lot of the time the conversations come up quite naturally.
Yeah, like just before it's going to happen. But even, my point is, even if it's not like a, can you do this? It could be like, do you want to touch my insert term here? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be done in natural ways that sort of seemingly integrate into the experience. However it suits you. If you are the formal type and you want to just be like, just want to, like... get this out there, can you please, would you mind? But if it is something that you just want to naturally...
go with the flow and say when it comes up.
Ooh, what sort of questions did Shaba's family have? My partner's family had a lot at first. So I have quite a lot of family, and most of them were A-okay with it. Like, one half of my family had no questions. I remember my dad being like, Shaba, you could date a tiger if you want. As long as you're happy, and they treat you right, I'm alright. And I was like... My mum's side is far more cultural and they had a few more questions. I guess my mum's questions were mostly around kids. And I think it's great if parents are asking, are you practicing safe sex? Regardless of who you are, who you're doing it with, that's fine. But I will say that there was one particular family member who shall remain unnamed, who I think really stepped a boundary. I think objectively stepped a boundary.
Yeah, overstepped a boundary.
Yes.
just stepped on the boundary. No, fully really... jumped over the boundary.
But yes, if family are asking you about your sex life and you don't have like that friend close relationship,
I think if it's in line with your typical relationship and conversations you have with a family member,
my point is,
then
do not ever feel like you need to describe your sex life because it's different in some way to justify someone else's curiosity, especially if a family member is asking it. That is just so many levels of wrong. Mama Shaba's coming out here.
If Shabo could pick to date a cis version of Jamie, would she? Ooh. I feel like that's really hard to answer.
So deep and loaded.
Because there's so much about me that's kind of intertwined with being trans.
If it meant that we could live the exact same lifestyle that we do now, doing things online, because remember that Jamie being trans is a lot of the reason why we share this, you know what I mean? Like the closeness that I have with my family, all of that came out of you being trans and us having those conversations and overcoming those hurdles. If all of that was about something else and you remained you, of course, like personality wise, I mean, of course I would take Jamie being cis tomorrow. Because stigma, mostly, because of the trauma that I've seen you go through and the hardship that I've seen you go through, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But also, no, if it meant that our lives would be compromised.
And if I would be different.
In any other way, Sorry. No, that's kind of like a cop-out answer. That was a difficult question.
Probably no then, because it would be different.
Yeah. When should I tell the person I'm dating that I'm trans?
What I would do is literally just be super upfront about it, because I'm personally not interested in dating somebody who would not want to even meet me because I'm trans. So I'd just be like, okay, I'm not going to waste my time. But if you're not like that and you want to tell them a bit later on, I'd say two things. When you feel in a safe situation to do so, but before anything sexual happens. I would say, before like you get into the bedroom and stuff.
I would definitely say, but just because there's a point of preference, as early as possible. Because I feel like it's safer to do that and it helps you. Do you know what I mean? Like, why get invested in something with someone who won't be understanding? You know, I know it's a scary thing to do, but the earlier the better. Yeah.
Was it hard figuring out what your body liked after transitioning in terms of sex? Was it hard? It was... Stop it. It required some re-exploration and some like more like just open communication between us. There was definitely like a kind of refiguring out of things, but I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was actually kind of fun because I was feeling more comfortable with my body. I was feeling more comfortable with being more open about what I liked and how I felt and doing stuff, that it became more enjoyable. I don't know how you felt about it.
No, I agree. I think it's interesting because there was a journey like this, right? And like even now, there are still like times where you're more open to some things than others. I would have said it was fun. Obviously, I'm not in that position, but it feels like it's something that would be fun to like learn new things about yourself.
I think it was fun.
And to be like, oh, we can do this. And also, not to forget that different stages of surgery means different things happen too. So like your whole bottom landscape area changed.
Landscape? Oh, I like that.
Gardening
Had
landscape.
a little re-landscaping.
Yeah, like you had balls. That was fun. Right.
Last question.
I hate it when you do
I know,
this. There is so much pressure.
But what we can do is we can save these questions.
Look at how many questions we're not answering.
Someone just said brave, lol. What about asking for the questions? Actually, these questions have been super respectful.
They have been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, there are so many good ones. I'll go with this one then.
Last question.
Does Jamie being trans make you rethink you wanting to date him at all?
Ooh.
Yes.
No, I know.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, no, seriously. And like both socially, there was like at 2 stages, and sexually. There were like 2 steps where I was like, whoa, and then whoa. Not like, whoa.
And I think that's normal. And of course, like, it hurt me because I was like, oh, damn, am I just like unlovable because I'm trans? But at the same time, it was important to like respect where Shaba's head was at. Those feelings.
I needed time.
Give you a little bit of time, and then look at us now.
I mean,
I just really poked myself
like
in the chest.
A week
it
or
was,
something.
yeah, it was not very long.
So socially,
Yeah.
it was difficult because like my whole family in particular, when they found out, and some
Lesbians,
unaccepting
they're telling
friends,
you
it
you're a
was like,
lesbian.
Shaba's a lesbian. Nothing wrong with being a lesbian, but I just wasn't one. And I was like, oh, am I a lesbian?
Because you
Does this make
didn't
me a
know
lesbian?
like stuff about trans things that you know now.
And I came to the conclusion that I was not a lesbian because Jamie is a man and I am a woman. But then sex stuff happened. And then again, I was like, wow, this is just not
Different.
what you're told. But no, again, I can only speak for myself. If that's what you're worried about, if you're a trans guy watching this video or a trans person and you're thinking, damn, is a cis woman going to look at me and be like, this isn't what I'm used to, and therefore just run away? It takes learning and it takes exploring. And I think that I was lucky. Lucky's the wrong word, but it was almost beneficial, I think, for us because our sexual exploration in general happened at the same time as we were exploring each other. But personally, I think that's just the fun part. I never saw it and thought, oh, this is not what I'm used to. This isn't what I saw in those books growing up. It's not what I like. That is not something that happened to me. So I hope that helps alleviate any concerns that you might have.
Basically, communication, 2-way boundaries, 2-way respect, and
Have fun.
have fun.
Have fun. And don't get so hung up on what the norm is or what you see on porn videos, because as long as you're having a fun time
And
you're enjoying it and you're both, or if there's multiple people, you're all enjoying it consensually, that is all that matters.
So that's all the questions, guys. Yay, I hope that they were useful and you learnt some stuff. I feel like we maybe got more open than I expected us to, but I think that was,
This always happens.
it was good. Yeah.
And stay safe and check yourself. And if you want to, do it with the Let's Get Checked. Jammidodger 20% off.
Yes. As a little disclaimer on Let's Get Checked, I just want to like pre-warn some trans people going on the website. Some of the language and wording used is not like the most inclusive. But I have been in email communication with them and they've been amazing to the feedback and they are looking into making it a more inclusive website in terms of the language.
To make that practical, if you're a trans guy looking for tests, you may have to look under the woman tab.
But yeah, that's everything.
I hope you enjoyed this video. More importantly, I hope you found it useful. If you want a part 2, please let us know and please pop the questions below. And I think what we should do is, if you like a question, give it the thumbs up and the ones that are most liked, we'll use those in the next one.
Yeah.
So then
that's a
everyone
brilliant idea.
knows
Yeah.
which ones will be answered.
And if you like this video, think about giving it a thumbs up. And subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. And I like to say that because I like to say no pressure and you don't say no pressure.
No, because Jamie makes wonderful videos every Wednesday and Sunday. So, you know, like,
What are
pressure.
you doing to my hair?
No pressure, if you would like to.
And definitely...
Sure, be a spud.
Oh, and definitely go be a sweet pea as well by checking out Shaba's channel. The link is in the description box. And do go check out Let's Get Checked if you're interested in that and just want to see what they have to offer. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Much love. Bye!